Welcome back everyone. Time to hit on the iPad Air 4. There's been a ton of leaks coming out, but before I get too deep in there, I want to say the iPad Air 3 has honestly been one of my favorite tablets. It's a very clean, it was pretty much the successor to the iPad Pro 10.5 inch. I really like that design and the bezels are super thin. I mean, that's still a really good tablet that I would highly recommend everyone to pick up. But the iPad Air 4 is pretty much going to be the successor of it, and it should be a successor in every single way. And it seems to me that all these rumors, all these leaks coming out from it, that the iPad Air 4 is pretty much going to be overtaking the 11-inch iPad Pro in pretty much every single way. So the design, the way it looks, everything. And on top of that, I have a theory that potentially Apple is going to start taking away those 11-inch iPad Pros once the iPad Air 4 comes out and pretty much only focus on maybe a bigger version of the iPad Pro and then two big versions of the iPad Pro. I'm not really too sure, but I feel like something like that is going to happen. So first of all, the iPad Air 4 is rumored to be released early 2021, so probably the first half. A lot of people are saying March, during that March event, which would technically be 2 years after the iPad Air 3 came out, because that iPad also came out around that March timeframe, so this one should be coming out around that same time. And I believe it. I have no reason not to believe it or anything. Now, on top of that, like I said before, it's pretty much going to be overtaking that iPad Pro 11-inch design. That's what everyone is pretty much rumoring it to be. So that front of the iPad is going to be almost bezel-less. It's going to have a little bit of bezel around the display. It's going to have Face ID, no more home button, and the front of it is going to be looking like that, and I truly believe it. I think this is the most logical step that Apple has to take. The bezels on the iPad Air 3 were already pretty thin. It's pretty hard to go even lower than that without, going fully like the iPad Pro. So it looks to me that Apple is going to go through that route. So it's going to be the same size as the 11-inch iPad Pro, but on top of that, from what we're hearing, it's going to be bringing a couple of different colored models as well. So as we all know, the iPads only come in really one model, which is that space gray model. But apparently Apple is going to be bringing different color models for this specific iPad, and I'm curious to see what those colors are going to be. Now, obviously we have those white iPads and the black iPads, but it'd be really cool to see if they brought like a black front with a white back. We already saw this with the SE2. We had that black front with a white back, so I think Apple is probably going to be doing it with the iPad Air 4 as well. It's only a matter of time before they start doing something like that, so that's going to be really cool. It's also rumored to have that Apple A14 chip inside. I also heard some things that it's going to maintain that A13 Bionic or have like an A13X or something like that. I think Apple may go with that route. I think if they put the full-on A14, I mean, they could do it too. They did the same thing kind of with the iPad Air 3, so I could totally see them doing the A14, but I think they may do like an A13X and then put the A14X in like the iPad Pros. That way they have more of a reason to sell those more. I mean, who knows, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it's going to have, the A14 or whatever, but it's still going to be a very fast iPad, no doubt. Now, on the back, I think it's still going to have that single camera setup, the one from the original iPad Pro. If they were to go with that, single camera with the LiDAR sensor that the newer iPad Pros have, I don't know how that would take off necessarily, because then that would kind of cannibalize the iPad Pro sales. So I think it's probably going to end up having the iPad Pro 11-inch full-on body, just like how they did it with the iPad Air 3 with the iPad Pro 10.5-inch body. So I think it's probably going to end up having that body more than the iPad Pro 11-inch current one. And then on the bottom, as we know, it's going to have USB Type-C, and then that's also going to be extremely cool as well. And this is going to be a really well-built iPad. It's going to be a huge staple. The price tag, I'm not too sure. I mean, it's definitely going to be less than $1,000. If I had to estimate, I would want to say like $699, maybe even $649, something like that. That's kind of what makes the most sense to me, but I could be totally wrong about that. But ultimately, that's what we know so far about the iPad Air 4. It's about to be a really awesome device, and I can't wait for more news to come out so we can go and talk about it even more. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.